All right, it's time to paint. It's finally time to paint. I've been waiting for this day for so long. So our drywall's up. It's been mudded and sanded and mudded and sanded and yeah, we're not professionals at this. And so it takes us a lot longer and we make mistakes and then we gotta fix them. And so yeah, whew. But we're here. We've arrived to the painting stage in just one room, but that's okay. So I get to do the painting. I'm going to go through and prime the drywall. We have bare drywall right now. And from what I was reading and watching, you have to put a primer on first. And they say to roll it first and then do the brush work. So that's what I'm gonna do. I got my headphones, listening to Sense and Sensibility. I've already been through Pride and Prejudice and Emma. And yeah, about halfway through Sense and Sensibility now. The nice thing is that this is just primer, so you can't really mess it up, I hope. So yeah, I think it'll be fun and I'm excited to get started. Ow! Don't do that. All right, I have half of it done and I ran out of paint. So I just did 1 gallon, so I need to go back to the store and get more paint. But it's already looking so good. I'm not worried about trying to get the paint looking perfect just because this is one of like, I don't know, a total of 5 coats at the end we'll have. We need to do 2 to 3 coats of the drywall primer and then we have the coats of the actual paint. So yeah, I'm not super worried about this first coat looking perfect, but wow, I love how it's turning out. It looks like a completely new place. All right, back from the store. I got out of there right before it closed and I got enough gallons to last me. I got 5 gallons. I had to get 5 1-gallons because they were out of 5 gallons. And then there was like a price difference, so I ended up way overpaying. It's okay. Coat of primer is done. Now I need to go and sand all the walls, but I also need to go in with my brush and get all the places that the roller could not get. But it's looking really good. It's just the first coat of primer, but it's covering up a lot of the tape. So hopefully I'll just have to do 2 coats, not 3. There are some areas that need to go back and get touched up, but there aren't a ton. It's looking okay. All right, just finished and it is 12:10. I think I'm gonna call it good. I got 2 coats on the wall. I started cutting in with a brush, but my hand kept cramping in that position of the brush. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do another roller coat. It's raining / snowing now. I'm super happy with how it looks. I mean, it's just 2 coats of thin primer, but it looks way different now and it looks like it's starting to come together. Back at it again today. Someone from our church is watching the kids, so I get to paint again. I'm putting on the color coat today. I have done 2 coats of the drywall primer and now I'm switching over to our actual color. First, I'm gonna go through and do a prime check. So I'm gonna go and make sure that all of the holes and divots, everything's filled in, everything looks great. There's a few spots where I need to go do a little bit more mud and then sand. As you can see, I'm wearing the same clothes. It looks, when this is all done and I'm playing back all the footage, it will look like I did this all in one day. Okay, everything has been sanded and mudded and sanded and mudded, and now it's time to paint. I got the paint, I got a 5-gallon bucket of Brightened Cream, and I'm gonna put it on the walls now. First, I'm gonna go through and touch up the places that I sanded and mudded and sanded. I didn't tape around the edges because I didn't want to bother because that takes so much time, but I think it took even longer because I had to go super slow, so I didn't get anything on the floorboards. And I still got stuff on the floorboards, which that's fine, I'll just sand it down later. We're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. We did some areas where we did caulk around the floor joists, but we don't actually like the way that looks. It looks a bit messy just because the wood is rough, but we also don't want just the plain drywall edge. All right, I finally finished taping. It took 2.5 hours. No, it took like a good 3 to 4 hours to tape in between all the floorboards. Yeah. That was exhausting. It's now 10:30 at night. I'm hoping that it's gonna make painting go really quickly because I just need to get a coat of paint on the wall, like stat. I gotta do the brushwork first and then I'll go with the roller. I did it the other way with the primer because that's what I looked up said to do. But for this actual final coat color, I'm gonna do the fine detail work first, do all the cutting in, and then go back with the roller to get the smoothest surface possible. I finished another audiobook, The Two Princesses of Balmair, recommendation from Anne Girl Reviews, and it was really good. Now I'm going back to Jane Austen and going for Persuasion. Started it, stopped it, go try again. Gotta get through. I like the color, I really like the color. It's a nice like warmer tone. It's called Brightened Cream and it really brings out the warmness of the wood, and we'll see how it looks with the flowers too. All right, it is now 1 a.m. So I'm gonna call it quits because I got the room done. Let this dry and come back, see what it looks like. We're done. We're done. We're done. Today's the last day of painting. It's gonna be done. Well, just in this room. Yesterday I went in and did all the edging in and brushwork, and I didn't have time to do the final roller coat, but that's what I'm going to do today. I still have a little bit more on the windows to cut in, but then it's going to be the final roller coat. My husband put in a door. Ta-da! Look at that, look at that. It's a door that took 12 hours and all night. He was up until 6 a.m. putting that in. But it's done, and the walls are almost done, and that's one more thing to check off our list until it's time to do the floors, because we are trying really hard to start on the floors by the end of this week. That is our goal. So we just have bookshelves right here that need to be put in, and that's gonna be with studs and drywall. So it's gonna have to go on top of the subfloor. So that means we gotta get that done before the floor goes in. The floor has been in here acclimating for the last month. So it is good and acclimated. We're moving along. That's the important part. All right, let's get to painting. Audiobook I'm listening to this time is The Green Ember. Shocker. I gotta do a reread. I gotta go through the whole series again. I think this was about a week of painting. I would come at night after the kids go to bed and my husband was home with the kids. Then I would come here and paint, sometimes till 1, 2 in the morning. And yeah, it paid off because it's done. Put on 4 coats of paint, 2 coats of drywall primer, and then 2 coats of our finish paint. The hands down, the longest part was going in and out of all of these floor joists. That took forever. I just finished. Whew. The painting's done. In some lights it looks cream and in some lights it looks white, and I like that. It went a lot faster once I taped. The first pass through I didn't tape, and it took a while, but then taping took the longest. That took a couple hours. I was able to do 2 coats pretty quickly after I had taken the time to tape. So I feel like it evened out in the end. I have bruises on my knees because I realized I was using my knees to pick up the ladder and move it. We're putting built-ins on either side of this chimney to cover up this heat vent. So that's the next thing that we have to get done. And I think once that's done, then we can start prepping for the floors. And once the floors are done, we can do the cabinets. I'm gonna go clean this stuff up, but yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully we are doing floors.